And I looked at him. I was like, you know how to play? He was like, yes, I know how to play. I was in the choir. I play instruments in the choir. I know how to play. I know you don't. He was like, watched. And then he pulled the cover back some more on the piano and sat down on the bench. I was looking, I'm like, I don't think you're supposed to play the piano here. I don't think. He's like, but there's no sign that says do not touch. I'm like, you right, but I don't think that you could just walk up and play it. It's a grand piano. He was just like, watch. And then he started playing. When he started playing, I was just like, oh my God, he can really play the piano. So he playing and I'm just like, oh my God. I pull out my phone to start recording. And I'm recording him. And then as I'm recording him, he started singing. So what he was playing was Someone Like You by Adele. And then he started singing it. I heard that you settled down, that you found a girl. And like he was playing, singing it. And as he was singing, a crowd was forming around. And I'm just sitting here recording. I'm just like, and I'm looking at him like, oh shit. And then he started looking at me singing it. And I'm just like, I'm getting a little bit embarrassed a little bit because I'm just like, oh, you're making the scene. All these people looking. I don't want them looking at me. Stop. But because I've never experienced anything like that before, it was like one of those like little girl like, oh my God, stop type thing. Not like really like, please get up. Stop. You're horrible. It was like, oh my God, stop. So I'm recording him. And then he ended up messing up on the keys because he noticed that people were looking at him. So he messed up on one of the keys and then he ended up stopping. And when he stopped, he looked at me and I'm just sitting out there smiling. And then like this random white guy came up to him and he was just like, oh my God, man, that was pretty cool. You do really nice. And then a security guard came up, was like, sir, you can't touch that. Don't play on it. Marvin's like, my bad. I'm sorry. My bad. I just always wanted to play it. I didn't see no sign. I ain't mean nothing by it. My bad. He was like, I understand. You sounded good, but you can't play. He's like, okay, my bad. And then he backed away from him. When he backed away from him, he started walking towards me. But the white guy that had came up to him, like after he got done playing, walked up to him. He was like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? And then he introduced himself. Marlon, told him who he was. And the guy was just like, yeah, me and my wife and my son, we're just visiting. Like we come down, quarterly to Savannah to visit. And I'm just like, and I'm just standing there, and I'm looking there. Marlon looked at me. He's like, oh yeah, this my lady friend right here. Like I'm just trying to, take her out, show her a good time. And the man was like, yeah, I see that. He's like, so how long have y'all been together? Because it seems like y'all been together a while. And then the man's wife came up. And she was just like, honey, don't they remind you of us? And the man was like, yeah, they do. Just young and in love. And I was just like, I'm not that young. I'm not that young. I'm like, how y'all think I am? And later was just like, you're your early 20s. Y'all, let me guess, y'all just graduated from college, high school? And I was like, I'm 31. She's like, no. I'm like, yeah, I'm 31. She was like, so how long have y'all been together? How many years have y'all been together? I'm like, we just met 3 days ago. She's like, I couldn't tell that y'all just met 3 days ago. There's just so much chemistry there. Like we was watching y'all. So much chemistry there. And I'm just like, yeah, I mean, it is, but no, we just met. like we literally just met. So Marlon stepped away and started talking to the husband, and I'm talking to the wife, and she was just like, so what are you guys getting into? I'm like, well, right now we're just here at the museum. I don't know what we're doing after this because he didn't tell me. We kind of like just plan it as we go along. And she was like, oh, okay, that's nice. She's like, well, me and my husband, we visit quarterly. Like this little break helps our marriage. And I'm just like, oh, okay. She was just like, oh, you want to try something? I'm like, what? And then she went in her pocket, pulled out a pen. I was just like, what's that? She was like, you know what it is. It's that. I was like, what you mean that? She was like, it's the. I'm like, wait, green or white? She was like, the green. I was like, oh. She's like, yeah, it's in a pen. Like, we melted it down, made the oil. It's in the pen. I was like, oh, okay. She's like, come on, let's go try it. Let's go try it. I'm like, I don't think we can smoke in here. She's like, let's go to the bathroom. And I'm like, I look over at Marlon. Marlon look over at me because he was still talking to the husband. And I was just like, I'm about to go to the bathroom. And then he gave me a thumbs up. And then he was like, wait, hold on. And then he walked over to me, gave me a hug. He was just like, he whispered in my ear, he's like, if you need me, text me, okay? And I'm just like, okay. And then he kissed my cheek and walked off. So I go in the bathroom, and when I'm in the bathroom, the lady started hitting the vape. And she was just like, oh, you guys are so cute. Y'all are so cute. And you are just adorable. Look at those dimples. Look at that smile. I was like, yeah. She's like, here. And she handed it to me. And I'm just like, I wiped it a little bit. Because I'm like, bitch, I don't know your mouth being. I don't know you. So I'm just like, she was just like, hold on, wait. She reached in her pocket, got another tip. It was in a plastic. She handed it to me. I was like, oh, thank you. And then she ripped that tip off. I opened that, put the tip on the pen, because I'm just like, I know she peeped that. Like, look, I don't know you. You put your mouth on this. I'm not about to put my mouth on shit that you just put your mouth on, and I don't know you. Come on, what? You ain't even from here. What you trying to give me that I can't get rid of? Hell no, nigga. Well, she went on nigga, but you know, hell no. So I'm sitting up there puffing. And she was just like, sometimes I think these trips, they really save my marriage. They every time we come over here, it really saves the marriage. And I'm just looking, I'm just like, oh, okay, all right. And she was just like, but you and Marlon, y'all are just like a breath of fresh air. Y'all remind me of me and my husband when we first got together. It was just so full of energy, so full of love, just full of excitement. And I'm just like, okay, still puffing on this pen, because I'm like, look, I gotta be high right now, because ain't no way I'm talking to this random lady in this bathroom smoking whatever she done concocted in this pen voluntarily. What is wrong with me? What am I doing? So we talking a little bit more, and then she was like, all right, let's go back to the men. I was like, all right. So we walk out the bathroom. We walked out the bathroom. Marlon saw us. He was like, hey, baby. And he came up to me, gave me a hug, and put his arm around my waist. And he kissed me on the cheek. He was just like, so, you good? You okay? I was like, yeah, we were just in there hitting the pen. We was hitting the pen. He's like, oh, the same pen that Buddy, we just hit his pen. I was like, I guess it's the same thing. He's like, but look, they wanted us to try. So apparently it's some drink at this bar right here, this boil bar, that's really good. And they want us to try. They feel like, they said that we should try it. I was just like, okay, all right. And we end up walking to the bar. When we got to the bar, we sat down at the bar. And their son was with them as well. So he had to sit outside the bar because, you know, he can't sit. He was like 9-ish. So he sat outside the bar. And we're sitting up there. The guy orders the drink that he wanted us to try. He ordered everybody around those drinks. So apparently he told Marlon that he was going to cover it. Whatever. So I'm going with the flow at this point. But I noticed as I'm sitting, like as we're sitting at the bar, I'm sitting, and to my left was the man's wife. To my right was Marlon. And to his right was the husband. So we was like sandwiched between them, with the little boy sitting at the table behind us, because we was at the bar. He was at the table behind us. So we're sitting there, and as I'm sitting there, I'm paying attention to what Marlon and the husband was talking about, because I noticed that Marlon was giving a lot of personal information to this man that he just met, like a lot of personal information. So I'm just trying to like gauge what he was saying. And at the same time, his wife was like, the man's wife was like in my ear talking to me, like just asking me about my life, if I had kids, and I was telling her about the kids, but still trying to listen to what Marlon and the husband had going on. And then I peeked. The husband was laughing a little bit too hard at Marlon's jokes. Like, Marlon was okay. Like, he was funny, but he was more corny funny. Not like, ha, 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 funny. Just like, ha, ha, dad joke funny. That was Marlon. So, I noticed that the husband was laughing a little bit too hard. So, I'm just like side-eyeing a little bit. And then I'm noticing like he's stepping a little bit closer to Marlon every time that like they'll talk. He'll just like lean in just a little bit too close. And I'm just like, What? All right. Like, Key, don't think too much. Dude, don't think too much into it. Just, yeah. Because Marlon just sitting there chilling like it ain't nothing. But I'm just like, this man is very close to you right now.